Here we go. I just need to get all this up. Just a sec. Why is it not working? Because it's completely messing with me. Here we go. There we go. I think you all can see us now. Yeah, you can. Maybe.
Let's hope.
Let's hope. Yeah, they can. It's just showing really odd stuff on my... Okay. We'll hope. Anywho. Hi everyone. I am here with Alistair. And we are going to do a little bit of smack talk today.
Yes, this is a bit of smack talk. What I'd love to say to your audience, though, is I owe you and your audience an apology because I owed you a video from before the beginning of summer to talk about brain carriers. Let's just imagine that we've presented you a fantastic PowerPoint presentation. I've talked to you about 3 games. They were amazing and fantastic. End story is brain carriers are bad. So let's just move on from that.
Shit.
Skip to the end.
Skip to the end. Don't take brain carriers.
Don't take brain carriers. But what myself and Bo are here to do today is that we have got World Open War just around the corner. And Scotland and Denmark are in the same group on
We're
day
gonna
1.
play each other.
So Scotland and Denmark will face off against each other sometime on Saturday, the 24th of October, 25th of October, whatever the date is. So the full lists are not out yet, but myself and Bo, as the respective captains of Scotland and Denmark, we have exchanged our lists in advance once they were all submitted and approved, so we're all above board.
And I had to resubmit quite a few times because of small minor changes, but I think I think we're finally there.
I think we're there. So what our intention to do for yourselves, the audience, is we are going to review our team's lists. And then I think we're going to try and psych each other out. Smack talk as it is. And maybe your audience can start a poll and place your bets on who will win.
Do that in the comments. Place your bets. Which team do you think will win? Oh, and by the way, remember, it's like this. We have 3 players, but we have 4 lists. So one list will not be played in the round, right? So me and Al will be with our teams on different side of the table, and we'll place down lists on a table and a mission, but we won't know what the opposing side is placing on that table and that mission, which is a really interesting concept as well.
So looking forward to that. And at the same time, we also have to nominate the player and the list and what table they go on. So it does mean that we can switch players and lists around depending on how people are feeling on the day. So no one player is locked to a particular list. But let's face it, though, there are players amongst our teams that are more practiced with some of the lists than others. So, but we're going to discover that. So, Bo, we haven't discussed this beforehand, but whose lists do you want to talk about first?
Well, I have yours up, but
let's go with Scotland first, if you wish.
Let's go with Scotland first. And if you guys at home, you can see that on the your right side of the screen. So we have the Scots here. They have a Japanese list here called Soman Mask China Campaign. And the Soman Mask is a really interesting special rule for World Open War that sort of allows you to scare away enemy units by charging at them. And they'll make a morale test, and if they fail, they'll run away, which is a really cool little nifty special rule. Other than that, it's a rifle platoon with a platoon commander, regular, 30 points, 12-man SNLF with AT grenades and LMG. So that's a huge veteran unit with a bunch of rifles, and it's still pretty dangerous to armor if they get to charge it. A 6-man SNLF unit with an LMG as well, another veteran unit here, and Air Observer, regular with 2 men. Suicide AT team, inexperienced, Light mortar team, also inexperienced. Another rifle platoon with an officer, 6-man SNLF, 6-man SNLF, LMGs, AT grenades on the 6-man unit as well, which, not as dangerous as the 12-man unit. Another suicider, another air observer with double men, another infantry platoon, again 12-man SNLF, AT grenades, really dangerous. A 6-man with an LMG, and another air observer, and another suicider. That is a bunch of air observers. That's 3 air observers. And remember, for World Open War, they get the early war air observing, so they can double tap, right?
That's correct. So this Japanese list, I think, from memory, the special rule originates from the China campaign. So everything here is early war, and those Japanese air observers get to fire twice. So 3 observers, 6 aircraft.
Yep. And for me, this is very much a list that you've had a hand in making. I'm not sure that you're going to play it. I think potentially this could be another player. But it's very much an air power Alistair list.
It is very much air power.
Yeah. And it's one of those lists that if we end up having the wrong matchup against this list, we are going to struggle because of like six airplanes coming in that will just wreck most lists if you do it wrong. But if we get the right matchup, we will. My guess is we'll run straight through this.
Well, that's a lot of big talk. So
it is a lot of big talk, and it is a lot of veterans in this list that you have to get through.
What list do you want to talk about next for Scotland?
Then let's talk about the German one. So here I have the German one for the people at home, again on your right. So we have a rifle platoon with an officer with 3 extra men. Is that 3 extra, or is it a 3-man unit? It's a 3-man unit.
It's a 3-man unit altogether.
Right.
So and officer then, plus 2.
Yeah. Veteran Fallschirmjägers with double LMGs, nice unit. Spartruppen with rifles. LMG teams, love the LMG teams. The inclusion of those
That Spartruppen unit's also Fallschirmjäger.
It's also Fallschirmjägers. Yeah, sorry, I missed that. That's a nice little extra bonus. The LMG teams, for people who don't know that's a V2 unit that was brought in for the tournament adjustment pack for World Open War. I love the inclusion of that.
The vision with the LMG team is it replaces the light mortar in the generic rifle platoon, if you wish.
Yep. And then Panzer 3s, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of those, all of them the darker Panzer 3s, so with a light anti-tank gun and a bunch of machine guns and a company commander. Do we see Alistair all over this list? Yes, we do. I've seen you do this, Alistair, before.
Yeah. So I can talk about this particular list because it is an evolution of a list that I took to World Open War last year.
Yep.
Last year, I sort of min-maxed with the infantry. I took 4 5-man rifle squads. I think one of them was inexperienced. There were light mortars inexperienced just to spam order dice to bring the dice count up.
Yeah. But this is way more survivable.
Well, with the change from the rulebook Germany to Armies of Germany, there's been some points fluctuations. There's been FAQs and erratas out, but also now it's the realization that we're almost a year into V3. You don't need lots of dice, lots of order dice. You need quality order dice. So I've tightened up the infantry squads to make them a lot more survivable. But again, we'll talk about missions and objectives. But that's why we've got a toolbox of army lists.
Yeah,
and I ran 5 Panzer 3s, a couple of different variants, or maybe one just different variant, this time last year. In the space of a year, 5 Panzer IIIs is still a very strong option, in my opinion.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Yep, I don't see it as being a bad thing. So
nope.
So,
and I really like this list for certain missions. There are like some missions, and maybe especially against some armies. This will do well against a full Japanese horde, I guess.
Yeah. Well, time will tell, but this is a list I am really comfortable playing.
Yeah.
My five Panzer IIIs have chewed the dirt in Southend before, so they know what to do.
Yeah. And then we have the American list, another list that I'm seeing Alistair's fingerprints all over this one.
Maybe.
I'm not sure you're playing it, but I am definitely sure you inspired it. So we have a platoon commander with an SMG regular. We have a rifle squad, 6-man with a BAR. Rifle squad, just rifles, 6 men again. An air observer, veteran, 3 guys. So more survivable, although also more costly. Another
and it's sorry.
Yeah.
It's worth noting the air observer there have been upgraded to Rangers.
Mm-hmm. So not only can he infiltrate, he can also Ranger lead the way, move before turn 1, which is an amazing combo. I haven't really seen this done before, but it's really cool.
Yep. I'll let you talk about the list, then I'll...
Infantry officer again with a rifle, 6-man squad. Military police, 4 men, very cheap. And then another air observer, again, ranger vet, 3-man unit. And a recce platoon with an Iron R squad of 4 men, inexperienced. Look at that, 28 points. And another ranger air observer, that's the 3rd ranger air observer. A dodged 3/4, and a couple of stewards with a recce jeep. That's it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What do you think?
I think this is again an air power list. 3 air observers with that's 6 shots with the airplanes. If you run against the wrong list that has enough flag, this is going to struggle. But unfortunately, Denmark doesn't have that much flag.
Yeah. Well, that's a story we'll talk about when we talk about your lists. But I'm not going to hide behind anything. This is my list.
Yep.
I ran a version of this at the Scottish Nationals as recently as 3 weeks ago.
Yep.
And I had 4 wins and 1 loss. And the loss was to a Welsh player called Gary Morgan. And Gary Morgan had a Kugelblitz and a drilling. And so he shot down all my aircraft.
Yeah.
Not to say that he didn't play an exceptionally good game.
But if the aircraft doesn't come on for this list, it's a lot of what this list is about, isn't it?
That list had the strong counter to this, and we've discussed this on your channel before about the rock paper scissors and what you need to have. But the trick, I only did it with 1 observer at the Scottish Nationals. I'm now doing it with 3, but having the Rangers lead the way. That opens up a lot of tactical options. Not just when there's a lot of forward deployment and you're either taking it in turns or you're drawing dice out of the bag. If your air observer doesn't get an optimal deployment due to can't be within 12 inches,
he can still move away.
Redeploy. I can redeploy 12 inches after that. So if they're trying to, people won't set up sniper teams to try and shoot them, but you can feint to different areas. Then, dependent on the mission combination parameters, if you've got some sort of envelopment or double envelopment with forward deployment, these guys are off the board before turn 1. They'll forward deploy within 12 inches of the DZE and then exit. So at the start of turn 1, I could be 9 points ahead, potentially. So, granted, everybody will say it's like, well,
insane, but
exactly. But granted, people will say it's like, oh, but then you've lost all your aircraft. But it's like
But you've also won the game.
You also have to remember to play the mission.
Yeah.
So it's swings and roundabouts, but it's, as you said, it's a trick that I hadn't seen it done until I believe I did it at the Scottish Nationals, and it proved useful in one game out of 5. But it's 3 points per observer team, and they were going to be veteran anyway to ensure they survived.
Why not?
So why wouldn't I do that?
Yeah. It's an obvious pick, isn't it? I mean, if you can, you really should try to do this. It's a really neat trick. And then the final list is the Polish one. So it has a company commander on horseback with a pistol, inexperienced, which is what you need basically to get the Poles going, because they will get pinned. And it will be difficult sometimes to keep them charging and whatnot. It has a platoon commander as well with a pistol and a horse, and then double cavalry here, 7 men, veteran lancers, BAR.
That's a typo on my part. So the BAR does not exist.
Right, and then tankettes, of course. The TKS tankette, just absolutely god-like in both in the World Open War pack, in my estimation, but also just in general. It's a really good pick for 85 points.
We should let your audience know that the Polish tankettes have got an extra boost at World Open War.
Oh yeah.
Through the tournament adjusted player pack. So if a TKS tankette is on ambush and its target unit moves in its line of fire, the tankette can itself move, pivot, and then shoot at that target. So
basically, instead of just flipping to a fire order, you can flip to an advance order on the ambush, which is really cool.
Yeah. And then on top of that, one tankette per army gets the infiltrate rule.
Yeah.
And so I would, which is just insane. Yeah. I would also be highlighting that is a +1 cover save as well, because it's got the infiltrator rule.
Yep.
So
which
go figure.
Go figure.
Very exciting. But anyway, continue on with the list, Bo.
Platoon inexperienced commander here with a rifle, and then border guards, regular border guards. I don't know. These haven't got fieldcraft, have they? They're not mountain troops?
It's my understanding that all Polish units have got fieldcraft on turn 1.
Turn 1, yeah, but not later on in the game, as I remember. Correct. These guys.
Just turn 1.
Just turn 1. A couple of light mortars and a couple of Bofors guns. Nice. Well, this is very much a hammer and anvil list, right? Because you have the border guards can sit with the light mortars and the Bofors, and then everything else can sort of swing along one flank and try to snap the jaws of that anvil.
And heaven forbid that you get caught out by aircraft. So there's some good flak.
Yeah.
Good flak in there.
Yeah, there is. For me, this list is a little light maybe on cavalry. It's the only thing that I would object to in this list, but running Polish cavalry is not for everyone, and the TKSs could basically be enough for any Polish player, I think, to just take Poland. Yeah.
It's I like the list a lot. Just because it's, at some point when you're looking at cavalry, 4 units, 3 units, 2 units, at some point 1 or 2 of them become a bit redundant.
Yeah.
So I personally believe that the 2, 7-man veteran cavalry units will do the damage that's needed. A couple of charges, then they'll die, but they will have, won their dice plus more back, which then leaves the border guard to move up with the light mortars behind, and then they'll have a screen of tankettes that are I would expect at least one tankette every turn will be on ambush to do something to make use of that special rule, and in the knowledge as well that at the end, if you want to trigger your ambush on a 4+, you flip it to advance and you'll move and fire anyway. So it's for us as Team Scotland, having a Polish list was almost a
That's a
no-brainer.
no-brainer. Yeah.
Because
we felt exactly the same. It was just such an obvious choice. The Poles were already a good army, but this made them a lot stronger.
Yeah, and then look, tracking back through USA, that's my influence. It's always been my belief that players are really dismissive of air power, and people are not taking enough flack, and it's even easier I believe, to use an air power list in a team event because you've got some influence as to where that list might end up. Germany, again, something I influence based upon experience, but I feel like a hard tank platoon is a good tool to have in the toolbox.
Yeah, especially in kill points and especially against infantry platoons, I guess. Yeah.
It's worth noting as well for ourselves, and we haven't seen the lists from the other teams, but I seriously considered having air power Germany because in World Open War, early war Germany would get the double strike air observers.
Yep.
But then I would have removed air power USA and replaced it with 3 veteran Shermans and veteran Rangers.
Yeah.
For a low order dice.
Yeah.
Kill point
just
style,
so you had
army.
the choice of 2 different styles.
Exactly. So all those sort of variations on nation and list.
Yeah.
And then Japan. Again, I'll be quite open with everybody here. Japan is Johnny Ferg, and
I guessed this much.
Yes. And there's no point keeping secrets from one another or from the internet.
Yeah.
He's been playing with observers for a long time,
Yeah,
both artillery and air.
Yeah.
And so he's making good use of the other extra options that offered it to Japan. So it's. I'm excited by our list. I wouldn't personally use all of them myself. I don't like some of the styles, but then that's why it's a team event. So
and that's exactly the point. And I'm like, my guess is that you could easily play at least 3 of these lists yourself comfortably, and so there is that option of your team switching them out. One thing that I'm not yet sure of, looking at your lists and just now I'm smack talking a little bit. I'm not sure whether or not you've separated what the lists can do enough, if you get my meaning. So like I think that potentially we need to have one list that is really good at kill points, one list that's really good at objectives, one list that's really movable. I think at least 2 of your lists, the air power lists, more or less does the same, but I could be wrong.
Oh, I would say that the USA list is kill points. It will rack up an enormous amount of kills. Looking beyond the 6 airstrikes, the 2 Stuarts. Looking below the Stuarts, I've got HMGs, which don't lose their +1 at long range because of a special World Open War thing. So I believe they'll rack up the kills, but they're not going to be good at objectives just because the infantry are they're 6-man regular, they're fragile. But it's got a reasonable dice count and it can put out lots and lots and lots of pins. And if you factor in 6 airstrikes, 6 destroyed units, plus other things, then you flip it to Japanese air power. There are so many units of infantry in there that are large.
True.
And veteran. So there is more objective claiming and contesting ability. Plus 6 airstrikes. So the airstrikes are going to keep the enemy army pinned down, stop them from moving, and then the Japanese infantry will just roll on up and claim and tap everything. Germany, 5 Panzer IIIs. It's just going to go and do what 5 Panzer IIIs should just do. But again, though, if it was like a single objective type mission, Spathrupen, if you got lucky, they would forward deploy, and then there would be 5 Panzer IIIs that would form a perimeter around them. hopefully I get to do that one day.
Yeah.
And then you look at Poland. What does Poland do? Poland can move quickly.
It can.
And it's cavalry, and
it's very tricky with the ambush rules. So it's got tricks up its sleeve. It's a more versatile army, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm happy that there's flexibility in there. And I see us using all lists over the weekend. They will all get used at some point.
Yeah. That will be the same for Denmark. Now I've switched to the Danish lists. And we can start with Hungarians. So, do you need me to talk people through it, or do you want to talk people through it?
Oh no, I would like you to talk them through it. Plus, the way your screen's formatted, I cannot see the lists.
Exactly. So we have a rifle platoon with a platoon commander, double men, SMGs, inexperienced. And because of the rules for World Open War, every time you do a snap 2, you roll a dice. And if you roll a 6, one unit in your command zone gets upgraded to regular. So they are, of course, going to stick to a lot of the units that I have in this section, because I have 3 Danube flotilla sections, which are 5-man units with an NCO that has a pistol, and it has 2 MG08s, which is a 3-shot weapon, but it gets hitless buzzsaw, so it's a 4-shot weapon that's fixed. So that is 8 shots coming out at range from each of these units, inexperienced. Then there's an AT rifle, which has the Hungarian improvised AT from Case Blue in version 2, which is nice. Reroll that penetration. It has double light mortars, also improvised AT. Another rifle platoon with double hussar sections, so cavalry, 5-man cavalry, veterans with carbines, AT rifle, light mortar. And then an armored platoon of the Turan 2, which is a 9+ medium AT gun command tank with recce, because Hungarians. This is all of it. Every time I mention something about a special rule, people at home, it's to do with World Open War. The pack there, they've changed all kinds of stuff, right? So you don't get recce on all your vehicles just because you're Hungarian. Nimrods, which unfortunately do not have recce, but I have 2 of them. Heavy AT, heavy autocannon, improvised AT on these as well, and double Panzer 38 Recon with recce, and a light autocannon on these 2, 17 order dice. Yeah.
Your cavalry can charge.
It can.
They can? They can actually charge?
Yep.
Okay. This list.
I did.
You are... I believe you just about don't have enough flak to cover yourself.
Not against 6 airstrikes.
No. 2 heavy autocannons is just not
below
enough.
Yeah,
just a smidge. In my experience, it's just a smidge below what you need to I think I'd said the words to you, to ensure clear skies.
Yep.
So
I needed one pintle mounted HMG or something.
Or MMG, any sort of pintle mounted other gun. If you come across me with my US air power list, we are going to have an absolute barnstormer of a game.
Yeah. Because I'm going to have to play really clever then.
Well, you've got some really good anti-tank options in the Turan and the 38Ts, like the light autocannons.
Yep.
They're good choices. Funny little things as you were talking through the list. The Danube boat people, with those machine guns being fixed, they can't assault.
They can assault, but they can't shoot.
No, if you've got a fixed weapon, you can't assault anymore.
Okay.
MMG teams and mortar teams can't assault. I know that you don't like assaulting anymore in version 3.
And I would never assault
everybody on the
5
internet's aware of
inexperienced
that.
dudes at anything. That's never gonna happen anyway, so I don't care.
But it's I did look at a Hungarian list as well, wanting to use the upgrade ability from inexperienced to veteran with a snap to action. My problem with Hungary in this format is that to make competitive Hungary work, you need double double tank platoons.
Yes. Yeah. That would have been even better. Yeah, I agree.
Yes, and in the World Open War format, you're not allowed to have more than one special platoon. So once I accepted this, then I just put Hungary back in the box.
We shall see. I really like the mix of armor here, and the Daniel flotilla can just sit and be part of a multi-layered, multi-weapon system base somewhere, a castle basically, and we'll see. But this is no secret. This is my list.
This Hungarian list though really wants to avoid kill points. You will be bleeding kill points from the word go.
Yep. There is that problem.
All those inexperienced light mortars, those inexperienced Danube, boat people. Unless you're really committed to hiding a lot of things.
Well, I have to say I've been training with this list quite a lot, and I haven't lost many light mortars. I haven't lost many of the Danube flotilla sections yet. So
okay, do you want some smack talk on that?
Well, going up against an air power list, I would definitely lose them. So
yeah, I was just going to say it just depends on the type of list that you've been practicing against. If you had to, if I guess in any style of game, if you really want to test yourself, give your list to your opponent the week before. And tell them what mission they're going to be playing, and let them tailor a list specifically designed to beat it, and then see if you can go it.
I will say I ran into to one list that I really struggled against. I ended up playing against Michael C. And we had 4 games, and he won 2 of them against me. And it's not often that he wins games against me, but he did. And that was down to his list and how well he used it. I really struggled against that one. But I won't tell you what it was.
Fishing.
Sorry, won't tell you.
Okay.
Then our next list is our German mid-war list. And this one had to be changed a bit. So we have a platoon commander that's inexperienced with a pistol. We have a Heer Grenadier unit, 5 rifles, basic regulars. Brandenburgers, 5 rifles, veterans, double LMG team. And then 2 Panzer IVs. That's 9+ with a turret-mounted heavy AT gun and hull-mounted and coaxial MGs. One of them is the command tank. Unfortunately, I made a copy-paste error. I can see that both of them have a command tank, which is not... Only one of them has command tank. Double Panzer Lux with the Recce Fast and all of that. And a Panzer III, the Darker Panzer. 10 order dice.
You have got the... I'm sorry to... Can that Panzer III actually have the twin MMG? Because you've got the upgrade to the medium anti-tank gun. Is that a thing?
Yes.
Okay.
We checked with the German errata on Warlord. You can upgrade any of the Panzer IIIs, even late war. You can do that. That's so good. It's pretty neat. Darker Panzer IIIs everywhere.
What was great when myself and Bo swapped our lists, and I think Bo would have had the same reaction when he saw our German list and I saw Denmark's German list, is just the parallels that they actually run along.
Very, very similar.
Very similar, inspired. But what I saw from Denmark here was that compared to Scotland, so Scotland, we've got 5 light anti-tank guns.
Yep.
We've gone cookie cutter, so to speak. Whereas over in Denmark, there's 2 heavier guns, then there's a medium, and then it drops off quick to light anti-tank guns.
Yep.
But the armor values are bigger.
Mm-hmm.
So there's 2 armor 9s, which is great. But then you dip into the infantry.
It's really vulnerable.
Yeah, we've both picked up on the LMG teams, but in terms of that specialization, Denmark have favored the Brandenburgers, so they're trying to interfere with Fubar and Outflank.
Serves in outflanks, yeah.
Yeah. Whereas for Scotland, our focus was more survivability.
Yeah.
So veteran Fallschirmjäger and the veteran Spartruppen, also with Fallschirmjäger for that infiltrate ability. So it's nip tuck. If these 2 lists had to face off against each other, it would.
I would put my money on the Danish one.
It would be quite sad. It would just come down to dice rolls.
Yeah.
I don't think there would be any great skill. It would be who missed first.
Yeah.
And that's not to take away from the players that would be involved, but if the 2 heavy anti-tank guns miss both their shots,
oh yeah, that would be bad.
And I know that you hate those, single dice, everything or nothing, sort of things.
Luckily, I'm not the player who's going to play this.
Yeah. On the flip side, though, if this list bumps into either of the air power lists,
it's dead. It's just dead.
You are just absolutely sunk.
It'll get wrecked. Yeah.
Yep. And I guess that's another thing that the Danish list is missing is company commander.
Yep.
Because if, for instance, you were up against the Scottish German list, the company commander will snap all 5 of those Panzer IIIs and they'll all fire. And eventually something will drop, but they'll get something. And yeah, so again, that's the smack talk. Ifs and buts and dice rolls and Brandenburgers, Spartruppen, machine guns.
Will definitely kill, but nah.
Yep.
I think this would sit at range and just fire at you with 3+ heavy AT guns. See if you can drive up against that or take that long range duel. I think we would win it, but ifs and buts. I don't think this list is going to hit your German list, though. I really don't see that happening.
Look, it depends on the mission sets that we get, Bo. If it really sort of guides itself towards that.
Yeah.
But time will tell.
Time will tell. Then we have our Polish list, which I'm also quite certain a lot of people will recognize, even guess who's playing this. So we have a platoon commander on a horse with an SMG, as modeled. He's inexperienced. We've got 2 veteran 8-man lancers. We got an AT rifle, regular, another platoon commander, SMG, horse, and then 3 6-man lancers, AT rifle, double light mortar, and then the usual tankette section of 5 tankettes, 16 order dice.
Yeah, it's a great list. It's got bags of maneuverability.
Yeah.
You're not going to be able to fault that. All the recce maneuvers from all the horsey formations.
Yep. Basically everything, like except the small teams, everything can make an escape move in this list. Yeah.
Exactly. If you could have found the point somewhere to spring for a cheap light truck, it could all be
moving. Yeah.
Like ditch the anti-tank rifle, get a cheap generic light truck.
Yeah.
And then everything's moving. So yeah, it's definitely a strong tool. But again, a Polish list is always a strong tool.
Yeah. If you know how to play them. I don't.
I can play against them, but can't use it.
Nah. And then we have our final list is a Soviet list. So we have an inexperienced platoon commander with an SMG. We've got double scout squads, 6 men with SMGs. We've got a dog mine in a gas jeep. We've got a white scout car with an HMG on top. Another rifle platoon with a platoon commander, scout squad, 7 men. One of them has a rifle, 6 SMGs. And tank riders, 6 men with body armor and SMGs. A commissar with an SMG. Dog mine team, gas jeep. And an armor platoon of 4 T-60s.
Yeah, I'm never really sure what to make of this. Obviously, it's very good. The scouts forward deploying.
Yep.
Good armor platoon. It's a good list.
Mm-hmm.
Good list would give me pause as to what to put up against it. If I knew, if we knew what the format or where everything was, I wouldn't instinctively know what to drop in front of it.
There's a real chance that this list could catch 1 or 2 of your air observers if they're placed wrongly, right? The scout maybe having a chance to catch him, but you do have that move which gives me a little bit of a worry because I mean he's the scouts are going to have to like box you in more or less in order to catch him.
Yeah, but talking tactics, the thing with forward deployers is they don't have to forward deploy.
Exactly.
And you've just reminded me of the other thing that the Air Observer Rangers can do when it's first wave.
Yeah.
They're on the table already.
Yeah.
Because they'll run on.
Yeah.
So if there's no forward deployment and it's everything in the first wave,
yep.
Rangers lead the way. They'll come on the board, so they are then waiting on turn 1 with dice to activate to start bringing aircraft in to blow your stuff up.
Yep. It's brilliant.
And if you're, I can't wait to do that. But if you've got enemy forward deployers, you don't have to try and play that game. You forward deploy in your own battle line, and if you're willing to put units of forward deployers in front of the entire army, please, I would welcome it.
Yeah.
And again, this Soviet list, it doesn't have enough flak.
No, it does not.
HMG.
It does not. I have to admit, we did not make our lists thinking of you. It's a mistake. I can see that now.
I actually take that to heart, you fool.
It's a huge mistake. I can see it now, but we did not. We made our lists thinking of the missions and not of facing you with double air power list. You man.
Well, you shouldn't just think of me, but it's thinking about the. You look at all the videos we've done over the course of the year, the rock paper scissors, and having the tools.
Yeah.
I am not surprised at the list that Scotland are taking. We've got air power, tank power.
Yeah.
And
you
look at other, 2 of the lists have got good AA. Poland's got double heavy and autocannons. The US list has got 2 HMGs, and I'll tell you now, that's enough. 12 shots is enough to drive off an aircraft. In my opinion and experience. And then, we're taking a chance with Germany and Japan. But 2 of the 4 lists we've got have got doubly strong AA.
Yeah.
Because I will be absolutely stunned if there's not at least 3 or 4 other air power lists out there. Or I will be even more stunned if people haven't taken flak. I fully expect Wales to be tooled up with flak because they know.
Yeah.
I don't know how many drillings were ever made by Nazi Germany in World War II, but I expect to see them all.
Yep.
In World War.
Twice over.
Yep. Same with Kugelblitzes. So what has also stunned me, and this will come out when the lists are released. No France, no Belgium.
Yeah. So far, we know a little bit of what was in the nations like a couple of days ago. So other stuff may have crept in, but yeah.
Yeah, but those lists with the double tap artillery observers that still exist.
Yeah.
And
they're not here yet.
But nobody's taken them to my knowledge.
Yeah.
Those are other tools in the box. So so we what else? I guess you would say infantry horde with Scotland's Japanese list.
Yeah.
Backed up by air observers.
Yeah.
So I don't think it should be any real surprise or secret as to what Scotland's taken. Along with others, we have developed all our lists in public.
Yeah.
All the concepts behind them. So
and we sort of we took the more or less the opposite approach. We didn't really look at what we were going to beat. We looked at what is good for this type of mission, and then made lists that were different depending on that. So more or less, the air power idea never really cropped up in our conversations. Also, we're not seeing it a lot in the tournaments that any of us have attended. It's something that you've been championing and I've seen in the UK, but I haven't seen anywhere else. So I'm really hoping that the rest of Europe hasn't caught on.
Well, the thing is, though, for that, we're maybe focusing on air power a bit too much. But if people aren't having to play against it, then they're not taking flak.
Exactly.
And
that should give you an edge.
I'm very much pro airplanes and tanks. As you can see from both Denmark and Scotland's German list, we're both very tank heavy. Maybe Scotland, maybe we lacked the imagination to vary the styles of tanks that we had, but that's it. So we've talked about our lists.
Yeah.
And the missions, we know what the missions are, but we don't know what set of 3 we will get as a team. Who are your players?
So I am captaining, and Michael Fier is going to join me again. And then Torben Davidson, who was on the Dutch team last World Open War. Yeah.
Excellent. And then for myself, I'm captain in Scotland, and I've got Johnny Ferg and Daniel Britton.
So Johnny is top notch. Daniel, I haven't yet met, have I? I don't think so.
No, this will be Daniel's first excursion to an international, but he earned his place on the team by his final standings in the Scottish Championship last year.
Nice.
He's a Scottish tournament winner this year and last year, and he's tested out his own sort of flexibility with a lot of different lists and list styles. And I would say, though, he's come across it a few times in tournaments because he's come across me, which is a real shame for him. But again, it's that you get better by playing better players.
You do.
We know that is how it is. And I've always come away from World Open War or the World Team Championship or any sort of GT style being a better player than when I went in.
Yeah.
And you and I can trace our personal history back to such a time in 2019 in Poznan in Poland when we all first met.
Yep.
And that's where the great Scottish-Danish friendship and rivalry started.
The frenemies of old.
Yeah, this is another chapter in that book. So I know what?
Let me ask you something.
To say now. Okay, say. Okay.
Right.
Okay, go.
So you get to pick who would you match up against?
I would let Johnny have you because he's just absolutely
give me Johnny.
dying to test it out.
Yeah.
Myself and Michael Fiege have got a gaming history, so I would take on Michael.
Yep.
Just from past experience, and it'd be great to renew our acquaintance again because I do enjoy Michael's company.
Yep.
And then I would let Daniel take on Torben, just because. And I guess for us, Torben's a bit of an unknown. Daniel's a bit of an unknown, and that's obviously not knowing exactly what lists you would be using.
Yeah.
That's if I could choose. What would your?
So my team is all they're all fighting to get you. So like I asked them, we were training today, so and I asked them, so who would you want to fight on this Scottish team? And they were all like, Alistair.
Oh wow.
But myself, I would be perfectly happy to fight Johnny Ferg. I love Johnny. Yeah. I also would be happy to fight you or your new guy. I mean, I'm ecstatic to play you guys again.
Yeah, it's going to be good. I do hope though that we don't face each other round 1.
Yeah.
I would like it to build up to round 3. Yeah. On day 1.
But I think if they do it like they did last time, then we will be facing off against the lowest seeded, and you would be facing off against the second. So we'll meet each other, at least not in the first round, I think, potentially.
Yeah. So we've already asked your audience in the comments section.
Who do you think will win?
Scotland or Denmark? Because I know that myself and Bo will do one of Bo's, what I always refer to as like a dirty recording that he does with his phone walking along. I'm sure we'll do a before and after recording on the weekend.
Yeah.
We also should ask the question though, who do you think will win our group?
Yeah.
So in our group, alongside Denmark and Scotland, we have Spain 2 and Northern Ireland.
Yep.
So it's I'm excited already. I am really excited.
I think it's going to come down to which of our teams wins the matchup between us two.
I don't know. I hate being overconfident.
Yeah.
But
you believe in your lists, don't you?
This video is about Smack Talk and entertainment. Yeah. But when I read your lists, I was howling at the moon that you did not have enough flak. And I could not believe you did not have enough flak. I could not believe that your Hungarian list only had 2 Nimrods, because if you had 3, you would have it covered.
Yep.
I was baffled that there wasn't a second M3 Scout car in the Soviet list with a Pinto HMG. I was like, you have got to be joking. You have to have had another one. Also, the only reason I don't have a Nimrod in the German list is because I don't own one, and you know what? I just cannot be bothered painting another model for the German army. My German army is enormous, and I never seem to have enough of everything I want. I think an inclusion of a drilling. Yeah. The inclusion of a drilling, I would have traded it out, and it went with 4 Panzer IIIs. A drilling, and then I think that would have freed up maybe 30 more points to sprinkle in with some infantry, or maybe add a Pinto MMG to one of to something. So I'm surprised that your German list didn't have that. And Poland, you don't mess with Poland. That your version's good. I like ours too, because it's a little bit more flexible. But if you're, So who do I have? Yes, I believe we will beat you. You will get 1 win and 2 losses against Scotland. I believe you will get at least 1 victory from us. I believe we will beat Northern Ireland, and I believe we will also beat Spain too. Again, though, they will get 1 win out of us, and I believe that Scotland will win the group. And then on day 2, we will be in the top tier, and we will finish second.
You heard it here first, folks. Ali has called the tournament.
I will also call, this is enormous calls, I've only had a glass of wine. I believe that Wales will win. And I believe that they will play us in the last round of the top tier group on day 2. And it will only be because they've got an absolute truckload of flak that they will beat us.
I don't think you're right, but we shall see.
What's your tall call? Come on, make
my
a tall
call is that
I know that Denmark and Danish people don't like to do this.
No.
You are quite a humble nation.
Yeah.
But
a lot rides on the matchup with Scotland. I believe we'll beat Northern Ireland. I believe we'll beat Spain too. If we get the right matchups against you, we will, and if we play them right, we'll get 2 wins, and you will get 1 win potentially, I think. We shall see. But I think you're putting down your 2 air power lists, which gives it a little bit of an advantage, because you know that we don't have enough flag, which means that we know that you know, which means that you're setting down. Look at that! So I believe we can do it. And then that puts us in the top bracket. I would not bet against Spain. I never will bet against Spain because they're just so good. And Germany has been on a really a winning streak as well. So whoever is in their group, I think they'll get kicked out.
Yeah. Listen, from what I can see, Spain and Germany, they're not pro-flag.
Maybe not.
But Wales are. I'm also having a chuckle that we've not mentioned England.
Yeah. I am not putting any money on England. Sorry.
Exactly. Nope. Right. I think that draws our smack talk to its
It
conclusion.
does. I'm so looking forward to our game, Alistair. It's going to be great.
I cannot wait to see yourselves. But
right.
Travel safe. Everybody in the comment section, Scotland or Wales? Scotland or Denmark?
See ya.